Today we'll be testing the NCP1072DIPGEVB, a 6-watt switch mode power supply evaluation board from ON Semiconductor. The equipment we're going to be using for today's test include an AC power supply and a power meter, an oscilloscope, a multimeter to measure the output current, another multimeter to measure the output voltage, and a DC electronic load. Before testing, ensure that your oscilloscope is set to 100 millivolts for the vertical division and 4 microseconds for the horizontal division. To begin the test, set your DC electronic load to 0.1 amps and turn it on. Next, set your AC power supply to 50 volts and turn it on. Now check that your output voltage is approximately 12 volts. Next, increase your AC power supply from 50 volts up to 90 volts while making sure that your output remains constant at 12 volts. Now, change your AC power supply from 90 volts to 115 volts. Next, increase your DC electronic load from 0.1 amps up to 0.5 amps. Make sure that your output voltage is still close to 12 volts. And check your output ripple to make sure it is less than 150 millivolts. Next, decrease your AC power supply from 115 volts down to 90 volts and ensure that your output voltage remains within spec. Next, divide your output power by your input power to calculate the efficiency. In this case, we're at 83.6%. Next, we're going to increase the DC electronic load until we get our voltage to cut out. There it goes. We're going to lower our DC electronic load back down to 0.5 amps. And we can see that the board recovers. Now increase your AC power supply from 115 volts up to 230 volts. We can see that our output voltage is still close to 12 volts. And we can see that our output voltage swing is still below 150 millivolts. Now we're going to increase our DC electronic load until we get the cutoff again. We can see that the board enters start-stop mode. We'll reduce our DC electronic load back to 0.5 amps. And we can see that the board has recovered. Next, check the board's efficiency by dividing the output power by the input power. In this case, we are still at 83%. Next, change your AC power supply from 230 volts up to 265 volts. Now turn off your AC power supply. Remove the output cables. Turn your AC source back on at 265 volts. And check that your input power is approximately 60 milliwatts. And check that your output voltage is still close to 12 volts. This concludes the test of the NCP1072DIPGEVB. For more information, visit us online at www.onsemi.com or contact an authorized distributor.